I'm the realest one that's reppin', oh my god, if I die, I'm a legend when they lay me.
DragooX is back and welcome to another video here on my channel, guys. And today I want to show you finally my new Sorcerer build for the Gold Road chapter. And yeah guys, what should I tell you about this build? It works great. It's so good for solo PvP, for group PvP. In my opinion, it's the best all around optimized build for zero deal. It hits like a truck, we have crazy sustain, we are tanky enough to survive easy the current gank Nightblade meta. And yeah, overall it's great, I enjoyed it a lot, and yes, I finally want to share it with you. And don't forget to like and subscribe. I also will bring back other classes now on my channel. I know at the moment it was a lot of Sorcerer, but I waited so long for the Gold Road chapter, and here it is, and now I will update all the classes one by one, so stay hyped. I will start soon with the first other class again. And now we take a look onto the Sorcerer here on the stats. And here you guys can see now the completely unbuffed stats of this build. I have 64 points in 2 health. And now I show you the fully buffed stats in zero deal, buffed with Barlock, Wretched Vitality, all the buffs on with all skills. And also with the continuous attack buff. And you guys can see recovery is great, damage great, pen is high, and resistance are also okay, normal right now, I would say, yeah, around 30k. And the critical resistance is a bit low, but in my opinion we don't need high crit resistance here, since we have such a high health pool, we have great resistance, and we have a shield on top, so we don't need so much crit resistance against the ganker, because yeah, we have overall a lot of health and tankiness already. The only weakness I would say with this build here right now is the maximum magicka and stamina. It's maybe a bit low for some people to handle it, but after a while, and with this great sustain, it's in my opinion not a big difference from the build before with around 20k resources and now 18k. In my opinion, this is not a big deal. Okay, the Vampire, I'm stage 3 here, I'm using the Shadow Mundus, and I'm using the Ortsuga buff food. I'm a Khajiit, by the way. I think this is obvious, but some people still ask every time in the comments. I think you can see it because I have a tail there. But some people don't know that. Okay, sets. And here we start on the front bar with the perfected Null Arca set. And yeah, this set is the new trial set and it works great. I'm using here in the main hand a Nirnhound one with a shock damage enchantment, and in the offhand a precise one with the stamina train for the physical damage. That gives us also access often to the minor breach, the status effect. Okay, yeah. This set gives us 2 times critical chance, minor slayer, this is not important for PvP. In the perfected version you get extra weapon and spell damage. So for some people that don't have access to PvE players, I think this trial is a bit hard to clear with randoms. You can also use the non-perfected version, and it's easier to get for sure. For tryhards like me and people that want everything perfect, yeah, for sure, then you need the perfected version. But if you don't know PvE players and all the things, you can only buy runs. And it's maybe a bit expensive. So you can also use the non-perfected version, depends how much tryhard you are. Yeah, this is 130 weapon and spell damage. For me, it's a must-have as a YouTuber. I want everything perfect, and that's why I got here the perfected version. But now we're talking about the 5-piece bonus. And I think a lot of people don't understand it right, because I ask a lot of people and they don't know how exactly it works. They think it's only single target, but this set is not only single target. It gives us every 0.5 seconds when we crit a stack, and after 3 stacks we shoot a projectile on the enemy, on the last enemy that we hit. And when the last hit is AoE, you shoot it, for example, when you spin 3 people and you crit all 3 people, you shoot the projectile on all 3. So it's also, it can be AoE, and the proc is much harder than the tarnished proc. The tooltip is way higher. Do I have tarnished here right now? Don't have tarnished here, but I have tarnished jewelry. You guys can see tarnished unbuffed here on my Sorc is 5.8k, and Null Arca is 9.8k. So this is 4k higher. This is a lot stronger than tarnished. But it's more single target and it's dodgeable. And another thing, a weakness, when you have guards on you and they put the eclipse on you, you hit yourself because it's a projectile. That can melt you. Yeah, that can really melt you. This is definitely a weakness of this build when, yeah, guards OP, we all know that it's UD guards, but with this set, you can literally train 50% of your health by yourself. For example, I attacked all the guards and I had the Eclipse on me and I crit them all and then I shot like 5 projectiles on myself. This can be a bit tricky, I just want to tell you this, because you have to be a bit careful. When you have the Eclipse from the guards, directly break free. Yeah, so overall, this set hits like a truck. It's so good. It's like an extra crystal frag on top. So in my opinion, perfect for a Sorc, and we can easily stack it up super quick with the new dual wield spammable. We come to this later. But this set, in my opinion, is on Sorcerer right now better than Tarnished. It depends a bit on the class maybe, but on Sorcerer I would definitely play this over Tarnished. It hits like a truck. Yeah, it's definitely a new great set for PvP as well. I don't know how it is right now for PvE. Okay, yeah, offhand is precise. But this set overall is definitely great, and you should get it. I think even the normal version, yeah, the non-perfected version is in my opinion better than Tarnished. But if you overall don't have access to the set or you're too lazy to farm, you can also play Tarnished Nightmare. This is still good. Yeah, it's not nerfed, it's still good, you can still play it. But in my opinion, Null Arca here on the Sorc is a bit better, especially when you kill one by one. Okay, offhand, I'm using Wretched Vitality, Ice Staff. Great recovery set, yeah, what should I tell you guys? Defending one, ice stuff. I only changed the enchantment. I'm using here now the shield enchantment. In PvP it's halved, there it's 1.8k shield. So when you do your ice stuff heavy attack to get a shield, you get another around 2k damage shield on top. So let's say, I don't know, the ice stuff shield is 8k. With the heavy attack together you get a 10k damage shield, then you use your Sorc shield after it, then you have around 20k damage shield. It's slightly extra defense. You can also use the weapon spell damage still, but I think for tankiness, it's a small buff. It's not a big shield, but together with all the other shields, it's a nice stack on top. Monster set, I'm going here with Balrog. Yeah, I think I don't have to say something to Balrog. All of you guys know Balrog. Great for pain and weapon damage. A heavy head here. I'm using in this build now 3 pieces heavy. Yeah, the head, the shoulder, and the trainee chest here. Trainee for more maximum health. Reinforced. I have 2 pieces reinforced here. One in impan because otherwise I really have super low crit resistance. Is the only piece that I use in impan here. And then the other pieces here are light. Belt of Wretched Vitality and well fitted. Medium hands of Null Arca. Legs of Null Arca. The set only exists in medium. And the shoes here in Divine. All the pieces are with twice-stat enchantments. Mythic. I'm not using Death Dealer anymore. You can still use it. For a beginner, if you want to learn that build, you can play it also with Death Dealer. For a beginner, it's maybe easier because you have better sustain and you're a bit tankier with more max health, stronger shields. For more damage, the new Mythic is great. Yeah, and especially for a crit build, when we get here the major force and the minor brittle on the enemy, this is 30% crit damage. You melt everyone. This is great. This is a super strong new Mythic. I'm using here Infused on all my jewelry with a weapon and spell damage and magic recovery enchantment. And yeah, guys, this Mythic, insane. It's insane, guys. What should I tell you? It's some extra damage. Also defense. We don't have access to major evasion. So when you get this helps you as well. You put minor breach on all the enemies around you, minor vulnerability, and all the things. The more people in the group use it, the better it is. You have all the minor debuffs on the targets. Just think about it. 3 people, for example, using it, or 4 people. And you have minor breach on all, you have minor vulnerability on all the targets, you have minor brittle. This is already so much extra damage that you have AoE-wise on all enemies, and when you then time your ultimates and they are super debuffed, it's mad. Yeah, it's simply mad, and in my opinion, this Mythic is definitely a new good Mythic. And it's also a bit nice because it helps a bit against all people use Death Dealer and people losing a bit max health without Death Dealer, so they're also a bit squishier. But they also deal obvious more damage with that Mythic, yeah. So yeah, it's a strong new Mythic in my opinion. You should try it. Okay guys, this is the gear that I'm using. Now we take a quick look onto the skills. And here we start on the front bar with the Hunting Curse, Streak, Whirling Blades, Crystal Fragments, Shattering Knife. I show you at the end what what scripts I'm using here. The Dawnbreaker of Smiting, you can also use the Dual Ultimate, it's also great. It's 15 seconds, I think they buffed it, I think it was 8 seconds before, so the buff is insane. I played in the last days also a lot of the Dual Ultimate, works great. Backbar, I'm using here the Temporary Guard for the minor protection, Hurricane, Hardened Ward, Restoring Rigor, the Elemental Skill, and Dark Deal. Okay, now we take a look onto the scripts I'm using here. I have here physical damage and the multi-target script. I think it's better when I show it inside here. I have slotted here the multi-target focus script for AoE damage. Then the second hit is always AoE, and it's not normally when you use the skill, you shoot it and then it flies back to you after 0.5 seconds, and you hits all the people on the way back. With the multi-target script here, it's not flying back and deal damage, it hits after 0.5 seconds a second time AoE wise. Signature script, I have the class mastery here on Sorc. This is another, you can see the first part is not important, you only care about the last sentence there, the last part of it. It says you deal 1633 shock damage to enemies within 8 meters of your target. So we have another AoE proc on top of it. So we have here 2 times damage already, unbuffed 7.3k damage, and we get here another 1.6. That makes that spammable hitting super hard. Together the 3 hits, 2 of them AoE, 1 single target. That it's also great AoE wise when you're fighting more people, you're reacting, you hit all of them, and some people don't even notice. You hit them low and I think they don't think that it hits so hard. Yeah, the class mastery is, in my opinion, on Sorc here the best. And in the ethics script, I'm using the crit chance here. You can also use something else if you use other pods, but I am using now the full time detection pod. Since there's so many night plates in this game, it's nice to have the detection often active, and here are the pods that I'm using with stealth detection, spell damage, and magicka. Okay guys, these are the skills. Now a quick look onto the champion points, and here we start with the blue ones. Fighting Finesse, 8% more critical damage and healing, Master at Arms, Deadly Aim, and Ironclad. In the red CPs, Fortified, Pain's Refuge, Bastion, and Celerity. Okay guys, this is the build, and if you have questions to it, feel free to ask me in the comments below. I add now to the end of this video some extra gameplay, and we see us in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, have a nice day, and bye bye.